FFS. Are we ready to go now? Just a wee bit irritated at the moment. I've been trying to start out with this awesome new intro, and it's just all whack. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Copy Who. I'm just so glad to see you. Do you see the little extra special effects at the top of the show here? Holy mackerel, I was having a hard time starting, and now I was having a little bit of a glitch, a freezing thing, so I had to start over. I deleted files from my computer, and then I'm back up and running now. It was driving me nuts though. Oh, I had someone leave a comment, and I'm gonna show that comment later. He's like, you didn't say anything for 5 minutes. It's like, you sat around for 5 minutes for nothing? Joke's on you. If you don't like it, you've got to go. This is for people who have long attention spans. You know, you do busy work at house, you put it in your house, you put it in the background. That's all cool. We're going to go right now to... What is it? All right. Behind me we have the Tracy Lee Samsung TV spinning. I'm calling it Tracy Lee Samsung Theater, and I'm spinning Caddyshack today. And I went running upstairs all excited. Here's my Caddyshack shirt, you know, Bushwood Country Club. So it's consistent between the movie and my shirt. I seriously was like, I have to put this shirt on. And right when I was about to start, I ran upstairs to switch with this shirt. And of course, I have the new jacket to look super cool with the jacket. Yeah. All right. And the new design of things. I spent loads of time the last couple nights in the evening sitting here tweaking this room. Very much so. I'm going to cut out that music right there, but what I'm going to show you right over here is specifically, I put that new TV in over there, and I think that looks cool. I'm not exactly happy with where that microphone is on that other table. I think it's okay. Wait a minute. Get rid of that, though. These little imperfections. You see? Not fond of that. Little imperfections. I spent all this time cleaning it up this morning, and it's all jacked up. It's all jacked up, I say. So actually, I'll take you back here one more time. I put that TV in. I put an accent light behind the TV because I was like, in this wide shot, I'm like, now that I have this wide shot, it's like I have to get everything in the shot looking cool. This curtain's going to go away. All these windows you will see on these two doors are reflective. So I'm going to be covering them up with non-reflective paper, probably black. Unless something else looks cool or I'm inspired or something non-reflective. Then I'll have the symmetry between the doors. I just felt like I have to get this entire wide-angle frame set up correctly. It seems to be working fine now. And there's a beautiful woman on Caddyshack. Go figure. And, I might have to, pay attention. I think there's nudity in this movie. It could theoretically wind up being on this show. If it does, I'm going to have to, censor that out or something. It didn't occur to me when I picked a rated R show that I might have nudity, but it's not yet, so we won't worry about it yet. It's Caddyshack. I just like all the little things that I've dialed in, the little changes that I've made. I'm happy about it right now. I'm particularly happy about it. In a little while, we will go to the Rise, but not right now. Right now, I'm just going to actually grab my agua and pour me a glass. So this is bottled water that I put in here today. It's not my natural grocer's water that they put under their special little light. And yes, sirree, Bobby. We're back, baby. It seems like it's not glitching out now. So I have to remember to delete files off of this computer too. Gonna get my little CBD going. My little dose of CBD. And plus, I am thirsty. That's not a joke. This time, it's real. The thirst is real. Oh, yeah, baby. I have all these new tricks up my sleeve. You see, I was going to do this too, but it was just too much during the intro. I have to get used to mixing the intro before I can add more to it. That's my little special effect. Do you like that? Okay, so we can also do that on the third one here. I'm going to show you. This is a laser, as they call it in Italy. It's un laser. Io voglio un laser più grande. See that? I like that effect. messing around with it, but I need to turn it off. Here we go. I'm going to turn it off right now. Here's the green, and it's off, right? Okay. So we keep it off. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep it off. And we proceed with the show. We proceed to do the ritualistic stirring of the CBD substance with the water. And then we take a nice drink of water. Refreshing water. Rejuvenating water. It makes me strong. It's my secret weapon. Water with CBD. I'm just playing on that guy who says I say nothing. There's a big difference between saying nothing and saying something some random fucking stranger I don't give two horses' asses and a fucking testicle for. If you don't like it, why would you sit around for 5 minutes? That says something about you, buddy. There's something special here. To me, I'm doing it predominantly. Oh, so I am really grateful, actually, to have a bunch of new people tuning in. I've gotten lots of comments from people, very kind comments, very much words of encouragement. And a lot of it stems from my trip to Huntsville. So I'm grateful for all of that, for people who have actually stopped and taken notice of this hard-ass work. And so it has enlivened me. I tell you this because it's true, people, that since I've gone to Huntsville, I got this emotional stir. You know what I'm talking about? You find the emotional stir, and you know what the stir does? It stirs you up, and it makes you, like, take everything to a whole new level. Right now, I'm loving the screen when I look at it. It's just got so much more character. It was a little blah before, but now it's like, oh, there's more variance in it, and I'm feeling so good about it, really. I just want to take a moment and savor this moment, especially since getting the show started this morning. You know, the mix is important to me. So, like, the only thing I forgot to do was put the laser in the camera, but it's because I was all distracted with having to start over. And I only went about 2 minutes before I realized this thing was glitching. So fortunately, I didn't go for like half a show, and then it started glitching. Hopefully the new upgraded show for today with the beautiful symmetry here. I can't wait until I get all this dialed in properly. But I was obsessed with that yesterday. I got called over to my parents' house to bring them something, and I was like, I can't be here. I've got something going at home. And they didn't ask me what. I was just like, I gotta go. And it was this. I was sitting through the whole evening just doing all of this. What do I have written in my notes right now? I'm talking about studio enhancements. I told you about how I ran to get my t-shirt. Greg in the Kava bar yesterday, somehow we wound up talking, and he added my Copy Who channel on Instagram, and he saw in the description that I put Kava SLUT. And of course, dude, I've been there 7 days in a row, and I didn't have Kava every single day. I think I had Kava 5 out of 7 days. Be that as it may, I have the renal pain to be part of the Kava SLUT club, okay? I'm like, I'm a Kava SLUT. And you know how you feel that pain right in the renal area. I also think it's being a kratom slut in excess with all of these things. And I'm like, hey, if I'm going to be drinking tons of kava and tons of kratom, you know what? I got to take it easy. My mood has to be really chill. Do you know why it has to be really chill? I will fill you in as to why it has to be really chill right now. Because if I'm all strung out and tired and non-rested, I will fucking have a seizure probably from all this shit that I'm doing. So I stay calm there. I'm like all cool. I'm like, hey, what's up? Having some good conversations with some strangers, some peeps, some people I'm getting acquainted with that I very much like. And I'm a Kava SLUT now. Renal pain equals Kava SLUT. Okay. Hey, does your fucking kidney hurt? Does it fucking hurt, buddy? No. Well, then you're not a Kava SLUT. Drink more. Shit. I did not start this out expecting to go AWOL on reason and just being apeshit crazy about. To be honest with you, I'm just like I'm more productive there. When I bring my little computer, I'm like cutting clips of the show to put on the Clips channel. You can go to YouTube at Copy Who Clips, and you can find the clips, the shorter clips of the show, and I might even cut that silly little Kava clip out that I was happy with what I just did there, and I'm being silly. The definition of Kava SLUT is your kidneys hurt. Oh, yeah, that's funny. It's funny to me. They might be like, hey, wait a minute. Don't say that about our business. Hey, I keep coming and drinking it, don't I? I'm going to go outside after I'm done, and I'm going to just stick my face in the dirt and eat it all. All the dirt underneath the grass. I'm eating it all. Because I'm saying that because kava is like from this, I think it's ground up from the roots of a plant, and so it's underground, and it has this earthy taste to me. That's why I'm saying that. It's not a criticism. It's really like, I like it. I really do. But I'm a kava slut. So what? He said I say nothing. Oh, you. Another guy says I'm a Red Bar wannabe. Really, dude? Because I put a TV next to me, and because I have a bird that's supposed to be Mike, and because the bird's mate is that tiny little smaller bird, Jules? Give me a break. Bro. Yo. You don't know what you're talking about, yo. Actually, you do, because the namesake of the show is Copy Who, and I take from everyone in some sense that will help make this better. So I think I take as much from Johnny Carson in 1975 as I take from David Letterman in the mid-'80s to the mid-'90s. I take from it. I'll do anything I want. Do you understand? I will do anything I want. And I'm not here copying Mike. I'm not Mike. Do you understand? So I put a TV next to me. He inspired that. Very creative guy. I'm so grateful. But it's so like I get the Red Bar comparison. I get it. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm not Mike. And and as I say that, I can imagine all the Scars Club people and all the fucking Mike and Jules being like, "Yeah, you sure as hell are not. You're not Mike." And so what? I am not Mike. I'm not Mike. Boom. Even though he does that too, but I think he copied that and I copied that. I just take it from, it's my exclamation point and it's not the same sound sample either. I just got my own crash and I think my crash is better. All right. I'm actually feeling pretty good with where I'm at with this today thus far. I feel like all the additions augmenting what I'm doing here, it's making me feel somewhat, elevated in what I'm doing. The more I make this room spectacular and special, the more I feel a sense as a performer to have to deliver something special, unique, fun. I did not have dreams I can report to you last night. Can you believe that? I don't have dreams. But I do have a philosophical question about something. And I really have to change track to do this. And I don't know if I'm going to make it funny or whatever, but whatever. So my question is, generally, fundamentally, specifically, yeah, that was bad timing. What would it be like? So, like, I had this thought yesterday, and the reason why is there's this lady at the church service where I go. She's blind and she's playing a violin. And I think it's wonderful, to be honest with you. She's very pretty. And so naturally my mind goes to, oh, what would it be like to be with a blind person? Like, if imagine you're with someone who's just totally blind. This lady, she has someone like help her off the stage. And I'm not making fun of her. This is not a joke. This is not meant to ridicule at all. It was asking a question like, what would life be like dating a blind person? And so I'm imagining, first of all, were you blind since birth or did you become blind later? So if you have the memory of vision, at least you can have that ability to discuss. Like, if I say to a blind person who's never seen colors or any visions whatsoever, if I say to a blind person, if I describe a sunset with colors and depth and, a person who has seen it before can imagine what I'm talking about, but a person who has not seen it, how in the world are they going to know what the heck I'm talking about? And I'm thinking to myself, so you go on vacation with a blind person, and it's like, so are you constantly like, okay, let me describe the setting to you, and how can they imagine the setting is my point. If you've never seen, how can you imagine the setting? And I would like to be able to ask a blind person this. And again, I'm not screwing around. I'm not coming up with a criticism. I'd like to know a blind person's conception and perception of the world if they've never seen. Like, how do you discuss these things? How do you fall in love? Because like there's so much to love. Like when you look at something beautiful or cute, like a dog, when you're blind, of course you can like feel the dog with your hands, but can you really get an image in your mind from that? Can you love that dog in the same way as when you see it? So like seeing has something to do with loving, right? Like, cause you stare at certain things. Like sometimes I've been in relationships in the past or with my daughter, I stare at her lovingly and that's all there is to it. So how could you as a blind person imagine what that's like, loving through your eyes? It's one of those senses that conveys a sense of love in some certain sense. So like loving through your eyes. I find that very interesting. What would it be like being with a person like that? So she's like feeling your face with her hands. She's never been seen. She's been blind forever. Does she actually have the ability to like get an image in her mind from feeling your face? What are the images you see when you perceive the world predominantly completely through sound? I don't know. These are the questions I was wondering because I was sitting in a church service admiring a woman who's sitting there totally blind and playing the violin. I just wondered what was, and I wouldn't have thought about being with her if she weren't cute. I thought, okay, so you go on vacation with a lady like that. And so does that mean I'm having to like guide her through everything? Because it's like she needs someone to like lead her, guide her through a given moment. And otherwise, we're talking total blindness. It's not like where people are partially blind and they can see in their peripheral vision. But anyway, that topic intrigues me. Anyway, I need to move to the next part of this show because, one moment. So you see exactly what I'm doing there? It's not broken glass, but when I throw that at the camera, when I throw anything at the camera and make that sound, I take that from David Letterman. Like he used to throw those things through the window and you'd hear the sound of breaking glass. That's what that's like for me. So it's not all copying one individual here. I put a TV next to me, yes. That's a look. That's something that's very similar to Prime D-Bag. No offense, my love. You are my love going way back, Mike. You know that. Let's go like this then, shall we? We'll go a boop, and a boop. Yeah, baby. Oh, R-I-S-E. R-I-S-E. I'm certainly not blind in this room right now. I can see it all. And I'm a Kava SLUT as well. Do you know what that means? Ow! My back hurts. That's my renal pain poking me in the back. Can you dig it? I think you can dig it just fine, sucker. This one's for you. This one's for me. It's for everyone. We're just like doing this sort of thing, and I don't even know. All right. Yes. I got to the applause early. I am liking my day, though. I'm having fun doing this right now. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? The central question here is whether you can dig it or not. I don't know if you can dig it. Bushwood, let's get those screenshots, baby. Yeah, let's get those screenshots and turn that sound off. Get rid of that and go beep, a bop, a boop. Oh, there are just so many more dynamic aspects to the show right now. Little by little, I will pioneer the technology to make this even more interesting, especially for those people who do suffer, understandably, in our day and age with short attention span syndrome. You're like, I'm bored with what's this guy saying, what he's saying. Where's he going with this? We don't know. We don't always know, but we like it. I'm going to come here and see if I can find that stupid comment. So we will, I pull this up right here. I did because Hey, no. That's not what we want. That's not what we want, bruh. I'm coming over here. No. I don't want to zoom in on that. That's me, and that's cute and everything. But we're coming down here to this gentleman, and we're going to say chat. And we're going to come and see it directly up close. Look at this fella here, all right? Bro, totally a waste of your time. So, like, it's a waste of your time being here, you say. Is that what you say? And so why do you come to me and say, thanks for wasting my time? Isn't it a waste of your time saying thanks for totally wasting my time? If I wasted your time, then you're only further wasting your own time by saying, hey, this is a waste of my time watching this. So you wasted your own time. And that wasn't all. You proceeded to waste more time. You said, what is this? With no question mark. You grammar dunce. Not that I've not made that mistake myself. Of course I've made that mistake. I'm human. I make those kinds of mistakes. Back here, you have gone on for 5 minutes and said nothing. But if it were really nothing, would you have gone and sat there for 5 minutes? It was something before you decided to say it was nothing for 5 minutes. You sat there for 5 minutes. If it was actually nothing, I think you would have clicked off after 10 to 15 seconds. What's my point here? My point is it was obviously nothing. I mean, my point is it was obviously something that kept you around. You're like, hey, I mean, like something kept you around for those 5 minutes, right? Because if it were nothing, truly, literally nothing, you wouldn't have stayed past 5, 10, 15 seconds. And you stayed for 5 minutes, and yet you proceed to call it nothing. So something must be indeed nothing, or nothing must be indeed something. Where are we going with this? You don't know what you're talking about, dude, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. And I just had to shame this guy a little bit. Thanks for totally wasting my time. Then why did you proceed to waste more of your time by thanking me for wasting your time? If you did not want to be here, I don't take responsibility for how you switched your channel on YouTube. Watch whatever you want. But you spend you fool. You spend 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And then you call it nothing. Well, I'm here to say it would not be by definition nothing. If you stuck around for 5 minutes, it was obviously something. You hoped it would speed up. And if you don't watch the whole show, you don't get it. You have to know me. You have to have some kind of conception of me. And I am going to have someone sitting across from me eventually here. It's destiny, you see? That's why you see that other table out there in front of me and this other microphone? Someone's going to talk into that microphone here, and we're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to have a gay old time, as they say on the Flintstones. A gay old mother effing time. I know what I want to watch right now. I don't want to say exactly where I got this particular... Here we go. Oh, hold on. What are you doing? Slow down, Buster. We're going to come over here like this and be like, wee! All right, so this is some kind of it's some kind of video about laziness and marijuana or something, and how it doesn't necessarily mean you're late. Because the last couple of fucking nights, actually, let me tell you, I'll start this
The year is
really quick. The year is 1975. Hold on, I'm coming back here. And I'm going to tell you right now, because this is really about me entertaining, and it's not me always just commenting on what other people do. Now I thought, wait, I don't want to say that. What am I doing? Marijuana has amazing creative fucking inspiration. If you do it in the right amount, if you're doing it all the time, you're going to get worn out, burned out, and everything. But if you harness the power of marijuana creatively, you get strange things like this, these new colors I'm trying out and this TV thing down here. Like, there are ideas you're seeing right now in front of you that were inspired by I'm on weed and I'm just trying to experiment and push things a little further. And so creativity, amazing. We're about 24 minutes in, and when this is over, I'm really going to have to pee. Do you understand? I need to have a way to take a pee break doing this, because sometimes that's just eminently necessary for me. 1975. Let's continue to watch this. I want to thank so-and-so from my past. Darling sweetheart. Gosh, I miss you. I miss you so much. I miss you with the the intensity of 1,000 suns that you would not see if you were blind. Do you know what I'm saying? But you might feel them, and they might burn you. The intensity of 1,000 suns might burn you silly, unless you were the right distance from them, in which case the right distance that could sustain life but keep you warm enough. Then what I'm saying winds up making no sense at all. Go! Play this video now! Stop sticking! I can't stop sticking right now. Oh, Lordy.
75, and one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is seen smoking a joint. That's what he's doing, is smoking. Mr. Olympia victory. He later went on to admit that he did in fact smoke marijuana in the 70s, and that raises the question, how could someone that was so dominant in bodybuilding, a sport that requires you to get to ridiculously low levels of body fat
I will say
while
that,
packing on pound after pound of muscle, how could he win 7 Mr. Olympia?
I like the subject matter of the video, but you got to get yourself a mic, Buster. So I bet you got some views on this. Let's see, what do you got? Almost 1 million views on this with a shitty mic. I can't even get 100 views with a wonderful mic.
While using a substance stereotypically associated with making people fat and lazy. Well, as marijuana legalization efforts grow, and with many states already allowing recreational marijuana use, more and more people wonder how weed can affect their weight, body fat percentage, muscle mass, and their overall results that they
I'd like to know answers to all those questions.
So today I want to give you guys a non-biased, science-based review of marijuana and how exactly it can help or hurt.
Is there such thing? Hey, buddy, before you start, I want you to alienate everyone and answer my question. Is marijuana addictive? I asked it. I think it is habit forming. It pisses people off when I say that, but I am saying that it's habit forming. And I think that could be called addictive. I need to switch out and get into real character here. What am I doing? I need the glasses. Now we're full on cool. Right now we are full on cool. To me, it feels that way. Self-aggrandizing bastard. You shut up and you go back to this video right here.
And fat loss goals. First of all, it's important to understand that marijuana was originally made illegal not because of any proven harmful effects, but instead it was done to suppress certain minority groups and to snuff out competition between the wood industry and the hemp industry.
Oh my God, yes.
In case you don't know,
no, he's making great points that that the resource has been made illegal and demonized because it's a direct competitor to all sorts of other things, and that doesn't even take into consideration big pharma. And it's not only like, it's more than what he's mentioning industrially. You can make clothing with it. You can make paper with it. All these interests, or all these industries have a vested interest. So you imagine how long it takes to build or to grow a forest where you cut the trees down and you make paper. Well, let me tell you, years and years and years to get the trees to the point where you can cut them down to create that resource. Well, this is very different. You can in 4 or 5 months harvest enormous amounts of hemp and make better paper, better clothing, stronger clothing, better than denim. There are all these competing interests in industries, and I was kind of getting to that on a video I did about Kava a few weeks ago. It's true. And so big pharma, they don't want people to be able to grow their own medicine in their backyard. And then like, oh, I'm not getting pain relief from you now, big pharma assholes, because I'm able to grow this marijuana in my yard. By the way, that's the measure, that's the metric of whether we're truly free or not. Because I think in an ideal free world, I should be able to grow fucking pot plants in every square inch of my property and have that resource for me. But they're like, oh no, can't do that. But why not? I can go buy all the alcohol I want from the store, drink it today and die, kill my liver, but I can't fucking grow marijuana on my fucking land, on my property. And I don't care that there's an HOA. You know, I get you sign a contract, you agree to do certain things when you're in an HOA. But my point is, it should generally be legal to make whatever use you, like use the resources God gave you. And that includes livestock, animals, other types of plants, tobacco. They should not be telling you what you can and can't do, in my opinion. Now, wait a minute, Paul. You're saying someone should be able to grow opium? Not necessarily, but I'm advocating for the marijuana plant in that way. Like, I think people should be free. to grow every square inch of their property up with marijuana. That's pretty easy to understand. Like, that's the way I feel about it. And that's the dealio and the hizzy and the hizzo, you know? Okay, God almighty, what are you talking about? Go back to this video and we'll keep reacting to that.
Hemp is the plant that grows marijuana. Back in the early to mid 1900s, it was clear that hemp
is the plant that grows marijuana. That statement in and of itself, what are you talking about? Hemp is it's a cousin of marijuana. They're not the same thing, even though they're very much similar. You can't get high on hemp. There's like an extremely small amount of THC in it in contrast to the marijuana plant. But let me just hear what he said again.
To make all the things.
I want to hear what he said again.
And the hemp industry. And in case you don't know, hemp is the plant that grows marijuana.
No, that statement doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? Hemp is the plant that grows marijuana. They're different types of plants. They're like different strains. It's not the same exact life form, even though they're like related. I just gym guys. Not that I've never been a gym guy, but come on, dude. It's way too bright with your white background.
Mid-1900s, it was clear that hemp could be used to make all the things that lumber could be used for.
Oh, yeah.
Except industrial hemp.
So let me read some of these resources to you. Actually, let me take you over to chat. So he's talking about cooking seasonal. Yeah, you can do flour, milk, dairy, bakery, beer, dietary, body care, animal feed, granola, fuel. Yes, you can do biofuel with it. Medicine, protein powder. Medicine in there, it should be like pain relief as well. Paint, organic compost, mulch compost, fiberboard, paper, textiles, insulation, animal bedding, rope. Amazing amounts of resources. All the more reason it's kind of validating my point about the industries that are in competition with it have a vested interest in demonizing it, because it literally amounts to billions of dollars in our industrial world and day and age, and economically, like all the demands for all these resources. So the people who monopolize these industries have a vested interest in getting rid of these things. So, but let's keep going, because this is not really the part of the video I'm wanting to. We're only a minute and 21 minutes into it, so I don't know.
Stronger and less expensive than wood. So, since it posed a serious threat, a smear campaign was created against marijuana that eventually led to it being criminalized. Since then, it's gone from being extremely demonized to actually having applicable medical uses today. For example, it's now commonly used to treat cancer patients, to help them relieve nausea and pain, and to counteract a lack of appetite.
Totally
there are also
valid.
Studies that show that marijuana can slow the growth of tumors like pancreatic cancer cells, for example. When taking a closer look, we find that marijuana contains...
I've been hearing that for years, and I find that intriguing. And again, it's another reason that Big Pharma is like, hey, wait a minute. This can't have medicinal benefits, and we don't monopolize the benefit. So naturally, Big Pharma is going to come out against this thing, or they're going to try to rule and monopolize it themselves. But they don't want cures. They don't want things that really are good for people, because they want you to have more problems so that they can keep dumping more retail crap on you that is just like stuff you don't want.
Known as
or
THC, which is responsible for
constipation, I tell ya. You know, if you take opiates, you will become constipated. If you take marijuana, you will not become constipated. I've had a doctor say this to me, one that I actually trust very much.
Of the physiological effects that produce the high, as well as the increased appetite that causes the so-called munchies or excessive snacking. Another major cannabinoid is known as CBD, which has been found to have medicinal value for controlling epilepsy and other neurological disorders, and there's evidence to suggest that it could even be effective at reducing inflammation. But even though marijuana clearly has
suggest, like, I've been hearing it's anti-inflammatory for years. As a matter of fact, what I heard about marijuana from a dude named Dr. Malamud was that if you smoke it, the act of smoking causes an inflammation in the body. But if you eat it as an edible, the opposite is true. It's an anti-inflammatory, and it's supposed to be very good for you for something like the flu. It's certainly, I would say, to alleviate symptoms, it's very palliative. THC is very palliative in a lot of ways because if you're suffering from pain, all of a sudden it makes you forget about your pain. It's one of the few things that will do that, and it won't constipate you heinously, and it doesn't make you like a drooling moron. When you take too many pain pills, you can get so out of it that you're literally saying gibberish that no one understands. You're like, I saw Corey Haim actually on pills once, and he's like, snaps no ham and a ham and a ham and a ham. I mean, have a hat. So he's like literally spewing gibberish out of his mouth, just like I'm not exaggerating. So it sounds funny maybe, but like when you're that far gone, you don't do that from marijuana. You don't get inebriated in that way. And I find that it also makes a lot of people safer drivers because you become hyper aware of the speed that you're driving, and you feel like if you come to a sudden stop, it changes your senses in a way where you feel that extra danger. I didn't plan on doing a marijuana show today. I want to thank so-and-so for posting this. There is a certain so-and-so. BW. Thank you. I'm not stalking you. I just kind of keep an eye on you from afar because of affection.
Many doctors and researchers still consider marijuana to potentially
that sounds
be
like BO or
for
something.
your health. For example, researchers found that smoking 3 to 4 cannabis cigarettes per day could lead to similar risks with respiratory issues
that makes obvious sense to me. And I've been saying it forever. You know why? Because I've seen the impact of a bong. After you smoke in a bong once, twice, 3 times a day, it only takes a few days for the bong to look hideous with resin and smoke stains on the bong. And so it's like you can't just dismiss the fact that when you're inhaling something that you're combusting, that it impacts in here. And I'm not being total high and mighty because I love the sensation of smoking. But I kind of, as I'm getting older, I know I need to move away from that. And if I experiment with marijuana, it's got to be the edible form because I just don't want to deal with that problem. I got enough problems in my life. I don't need to start suffocating. My lungs. Oh, my poor lungs.
In people regularly smoking over 20 tobacco cigarettes per day. Of course, there are
I don't know, man. It's not the same substance. They put so you're talking about tobacco cigarettes. It's not merely tobacco in the cigarettes. They put tons of other chemicals into those things. So, and how do you quantify that when you have so many, but you're combusting shit, no matter what strain it is, you're combusting shit and inhaling it into your body.
That don't support this view on marijuana being as bad as tobacco. Some studies
you in your
have
absence
shown that
of a microphone
can even improve how strong the lungs are and the lung capacity as well. So this is a highly debated issue that we won't have answers to until scientists are more able.
Fucking A. People were saying the exact same thing 10 years ago. So at what point do we get the data when society is full of people doing this stuff all the time? Somebody, is there a data anywhere? Follow people around for 10, 20 years. Oh, nothing's normal anymore anyway.
Freely conduct experiments and research on marijuana. With all that said, that doesn't change the fact that some athletes do indeed use it, and many believe it provides performance-enhancing effects. For example, one study on French student athletes found that 17.8% of the females and almost 40% of the males had used cannabis more than 10 times over the course of 30 days. This may have to
I don't know. I see all kinds of women that do it. I think what we're seeing is women are hiding that behavior because they might think it's more shameful for a woman to do that. I'm just speculating. I'm speculating, and I need a speculum to open up my brain through my ear. And my ear hole has to be really big it'll have to be a really tiny speculum, but a speculum nonetheless. Except is the definition of speculum specifically meant for use with a woman's nether regions, or can you, people fuck with words all the time, pronouns and whatnot. If I want to call a speculum a tiny little thing I make to dilate my ear so that I can dig in there and get a spider out of there that crawled into my ear when I sleep, I don't want. I'm being ridiculous today. You stop it. Ridiculous.
The fact that many athletes often claim that marijuana helps them focus and concentrate better. Some athletes.
I don't know about focus and concentrate. It definitely creates a creative drive, but it also compromises other faculties like concentration. So I'm like, I have an amazing idea, but what was it? It's kind of like that. It's brilliant. That's brilliant. What was I thinking? It's sort of like that. And concentration, focus. Sometimes I do get an amazing focus and an attention to detail. That's why this is looking so beautiful. This shot right here is looking beautiful today. Attention to detail.
Also believe that it has a relaxing effect that can help reduce stress and possibly assist with recovery. It might help with recovery because marijuana is a vasodilator, which means that it can widen your arteries and improve blood flow, which can help reduce soreness. There's also a common belief shared by runners that smoking marijuana...
See, these are all medicinal. What he's pointing out is, I don't know if it's anecdotal or there's scientific evidence for that, but all the conceivable ways that marijuana could be good for you competes with another product, especially in the world of big pharma, where they will want to cut marijuana off because it literally means billions of dollars a year if people are able to grow their own medicine and not rely on some big corporation for it. But that's all the more reason why philosophically I've been of the opinion for a long time that we are not in a free world anymore. I generally want the freedom for people to use most of the resources at their disposal for survival. So a city shouldn't tell you you can't have chickens in your backyard. And they shouldn't use the excuse of health, because starvation for not being self-sufficient is more of a threat than it is to let people risk catching a little this or that from the bird poo, whatever. Just some opinions I'm tossing out there.
Helps enhance the runner's high, which is a feeling of euphoria that's experienced after a couple minutes of running, and for a long time it's always been associated with a release of endorphins.
Yeah, I get that.
However, research now shows that endorphins may not be able to reach the brain, so it may be more likely that endocannabinoids are the mechanism that leads to that runner's high, and that may be why marijuana amplifies its effect. There are also other claims
what inspired
about
this guy to
marijuana
make
where
this
athletes say that
video?
it
This
helps
guy
them
doesn't even look like a pot smoker. But do we need a pot smoker to tell us the truth about weed, or do we need... It doesn't have to be a smoker either, just a consumer, a user, a pot smoker. At least when you use it for a lot of years, you have a perspective about it. I'm not getting from this guy that he's a pot smoker at all. Does this look like a pot... This dude looks too straight-laced to be a pot smoker. That white background is making me mental, dude. It's so bright in here. I'm going to... continue for maybe 30 seconds more on this.
Pain-reducing effects, some athletes believe that it helps them push through that burning sensation felt throughout the body during a workout. However, science doesn't fully agree that the physiological effects that lead to improved focus, concentration, and relaxation come without their share of negative side effects. For example, research on cyclists found that smoking a cigarette with 1.7% THC, which is much lower than the amount that's regularly found in a joint, but even that small amount reduced maximal power output for the cyclist significantly compared to those that did not smoke that small amount of THC. On top of that, research also shows that marijuana can distort perception, coordination, and cognition, which not only impairs performance, but may also increase the risk of injuries when using heavy weights. Now, combine that with the fact that marijuana can increase your pain threshold, like I just said, and it becomes pretty clear that smoking...
yes, the pain threshold I would absolutely agree with. Closing out on this. Talked about marijuana enough today. Come on. You don't stop me from doing what I want to do. I want to close out of that window and it wouldn't let me. I need to do this right now, people. Have some kind of stinky, annoying, stupid, whatever on my nose. Hup. What's going to happen when I have someone sitting across from me there and I decide to throw shit at the camera and do that? So they're going to get like dirty tissue in front of them after because it's right there. You know what I mean? And it'll be right in front of them, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is part of the job description?" Yes, deal with it. All right, I got to move on to something else because I am moving very slowly through things today. And so actually, this is kind of cool. I found this topic interesting to me, and we'll take you back to it now. Whee! All right. Bill Maher and David Spade talk about some chick who ruined her looks.
Story about, I think it's Linda Evangelista. Do you remember her?
Yeah.
The supermodel?
Yeah.
From like the 90s?
Of course.
Well, you dated her or something like that?
No.
Okay,
no,
but
just like a stunner.
There
yeah.
are a lot of pictures of you with like a woman who's a foot and a half taller than
I think they all start a foot and a half taller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shorty.
But really, I mean,
Minimum. Yeah.
Dude,
it only
short.
made you look good.
No, it's fine. I try not to push it out there, but yeah.
But she like did something.
Yeah.
Bill with the joint. Speaking of joints, look at you with your joint. Look at your joint. We're just taking time to look at it right now. Bill Maher's head is huge next to me. It's like he's Godzilla and he's going to chomp my head off.
Under face.
That went sideways on her, yeah,
Right.
unfortunately.
And I feel bad for her, but I have limited sympathy for people who do it to themselves. You know, you did something for vanity,
Yeah.
and something that is advertised to be, you know, probably works 99 out of 100 times. But do you really want to be that?
Yeah.
100?
Because they seem to have it down pretty well
Damn
for
bright
like,
looking.
I don't know if the Kardashians have had anything, but if they have, they've got it wired because butts are curvy. Everything, you know, it all seems
it's
to
not
like
normal.
look good, and you go, now.
No, like we're talking about some shapes, some artificial shapes that don't look natural at all to me. They got that BBL. I had to look that up once. Brazilian butt lift. And that doesn't look very good. And it doesn't, it's not attractive to me. I can't see it and find myself, nothing like just good. Leave yourself natural. Unless you have a hair lip or some kind of disfigurement that could be resolved. Just be natural. Just love yourself. That's the message. It's so much insecurity with what but the beauty standards for women are insane that they have to maintain. But the irony is the shit they're doing is causing them to look even more freakish. Am I wrong?
Great message for young women. I don't know, but
Well, don't Google.
Don't do it.
breast
That's the
jobs
message.
That went bad
yeah,
because there's.
which is the show I'm producing for the TLC.
Right.
What?
But, you know what I'm
reality
saying.
show.
I mean,
Okay.
It's hard.
I get the joke.
I get it. I mean, I think Linda Evangelista's supermodel was probably in that George Michael video, and you know, at a certain point, you've just got everything, and then if it starts to slow down, you know, it's the
You
same
gotta
with all of us.
maintain
We
the
all-
standards,
can't really
man.
do these things on the body. I mean, I certainly understand that there's a real thing that is being trans, being, you know,
Keep going.
so-called born in the wrong body. But, you know, whatever the
So-called
remedy that-
born in the wrong body. Do you realize that's not a thing? It's just they want to be something else and they pretend like, you know, I want to be Superman. So because I'm not Superman, was I born in the wrong body? I want to have the Man of Steel's superpowers. Was I born in the wrong body? I don't necessarily, I mean, this is like a story from a Marvel plot. I need to love myself for who I am. It's obviously not possible to have Superman's superpowers, but like in the same respect, a woman having a child, that could be viewed as an incredible ability, a blessing to be able to do that power to be able to bring someone else into the world like that. But as a man, I can't have any expectation of becoming that, like acquiring that superpower. So I can put on the aesthetic of Superman, but I'm never going to have the superpower. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, Bill brought up the trans stuff, and so it's worth bringing that up. I just think people, they imagine something they want to be, so they present as that, but you're still missing the essence of it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying it in a mean way. Present any way you want. I support the right of people to present any way they want, but not to affirm a delusional aspect of it psychologically. Like, it must be based in truth. If you're going to, like, believe it, it must be based in truth. It's not sustainable if it's not based in truth, somewhere along the lines there. You use the word based. You are on the DOJ's list for extermination. I know. I know I am.
Aside for whatever individual, they are not putting enough emphasis on the fact that you can't expect someone to be really healthy for the balance of their life when you do something as radical as take away their penis and put in a vagina or vice versa.
Of course. Dude, I'm glad he's saying this. He's not like fully in support of stuff that is. So I think the medical industry is taking advantage of something where they're taking the wrong approach to treating what is in essence a mental disorder. And so when you cut a hole inside of a man, this is heinous and disgusting. And it's true, though. I'm hearing that. So these guys that cut the hole, they have to dilate multiple times to keep that hole. And they're just like cutting a hole in flesh. It's not how you're engineered biologically to be that way. And so you get problems with these guys who've done that. Women is what they want to be called. But you get problems where, like, their flesh is rotting. And sometimes you get maggots. I'm not joking. And you get infections. And so all to pretend like this is better health-wise, at least it alleviates the mental illness by cutting a hole in you. And so, so there's something wrong with the evaluation of whether someone should do this. Like I said, present any way you want. Enjoy yourself as an adult, whatever you want to be. Like, but don't go cutting into yourself. That is like troubling. So I don't mind. So I'm so liberal that I'm like, okay, you're an adult. You want to go and do that? I don't think it's a good idea. Go and do that. Have it be accessible for an adult that wants to do that. It's extreme, okay? But, like, imposing that on kids, no. Those kids don't even they're not fully formed people, and there's something, so there's this ideological aspect to it, as opposed to just, so we're trying to have a rational conversation about something that should, by common sense, never be done, like cutting a hole in a man, chopping away his weenie like a banana and rewiring it and slicing it all back together in a way that nature did not intend. And I would think it's just better to treat it psychologically, to try and get people to love themselves for the right reasons, build self-esteem, build resilience to life, and understand I'm not Superman. I can't be 7 feet tall when I'm 6 feet tall. I can wear like a few inches on my heels. Still not going to be 7 feet tall. I can wear stilts if I'm that insecure about it. But the important thing is to just accept this is me. I wouldn't exist if it weren't like this is me. And so I hear this phrase thrown around, he or she doesn't love me for who I am. And I tend to wonder, like when you're making up a fiction, the other people seem right in thinking, well, you're not being who you are. You're pretending to be something else, and you want to say, that's who I am. But is that what I'm doing here? Like, is this me? But this is an extension of what is possible in the realm of creativity, media. It's like the extent to our bodies being an artistic canvas, there's a truth to that. Whether you want to get tattoos, piercings, even guys who are getting weird sort of like additions on their head to look like they have horns, have at it. But like there's still when you're talking about body modification, there's a limit to what you should do as far as what might hurt you. So people want to tattoo out their eyeballs to be cool and stand out. Have at it, but you might go blind. It's happened. I don't know if I'm making any sense today. This will make sense when I play it back. This is a topic that I feel strongly about, that I got deviated into this. This was supposed to be about a woman who changed her looks that David Spade dated in the 80s or something, or the 90s. I don't know when. Whenever you were popular, dude.
These things are intrinsic to your health. You know, it feels like health is number 2 below this makes me feel, and that is important.
Yeah.
But
Right.
You know,
any surgery is
Bill
very,
Maher's making the right point here. Thank
scary to
goodness.
anyone.
hey, thanks for watching the clip.
No. Get that cringy thing off my screen. This is too bright, and I'm going to have to figure out what's going on here again. That's one more little adjustment that needs to be made. Where are we? We are at 55 and a half minutes. What do I have? What else do I have here? These are all too long to continue on. So now I'm in the conundrum of what do I do for the last few minutes, since if I start another video, it's not going to be long enough. So we switch around the cameras and we pretend we're much cooler than we are, or we just like call it an hour and we wrap it up. We got our 55 minutes. That's a good length. I don't have to fill it with rubbish. I can sit here and I can make it nothing, like that guy said. Just nothing. Sit here and nothing. Feeling that renal pain. Did not drink Kava yesterday. I was at the Kava bar, but I did not drink Kava. Wanted to drink Kava. Want to drink that mud. All right, I guess, you know what? That means this is my time. Boom, boom, boom. What are you all doing? Do you know why you're here? You're here because you like it on some level. I appreciate if you like this video, if you share this video, if you subscribe to my channel. You can subscribe to Copy Who Clips. I'm posting a lot of shorter clips up there. You can go there by going to the YouTube handle at Copy Who Clips. That's where it is. Do you know what I'm saying? I will engage with you if you comment. I will talk to you. Trying to build the crew here, everybody. So, everyone stay well, and I genuinely mean it when I say peace be with you all. Whee! Kava SLUT.